Today we are going to be talking about how Newton's 3 laws apply to the sport of gymnastics. You'll be surprised with how much physics is involved with this sport. As Newton's first law of motion states, an object in a state of motion tends to remain in motion unless an external force is applied to it. When the gymnast does her tumbling passes, she uses her strength to flip through the air. She would stay in motion if gravity were not a factor. Gravity is the external force applied to her, and it is what causes her to not stay in motion. Another example of Newton's first law in gymnastics would be on the balance beam. When the gymnast does a move such as a scale, she starts at rest. When she brings her leg up into the air and her chest forward, she is applying a force. While she is holding this position, she is at rest again. When she has finished the skill, she applies a force to bring herself back into a standing position and back at rest. According to Newton's second law of motion, the sum of all forces is equal to the object's mass multiplied by its acceleration. In the case of the gymnast, when her acceleration is higher, she needs more force to be able to complete the move. When the amount of force she gets through her legs is increased, the faster she can flip and twist in the air. If the gymnast's mass were increased, she would need more force to have the same acceleration as a lighter gymnast. A lighter gymnast can reach a faster rotation in flipping or twisting than a heavier gymnast doing the same thing. When a heavier gymnast runs down the vault runway, compared to a lighter gymnast, her acceleration will be greater. Finally, Newton's third law of motion states that for every action, there is an opposite and equal reaction. In professional gymnastics settings such as this one, they use spring floors. Underneath the carpeting, there are rows upon rows of springs. The springs help the gymnast get more height and lessen the strain on their bodies. When they push off on the spring floor, the floor also pushes back on them. Another particular example that stands out would be when a gymnast uses a springboard. She jumps on it and exerts a certain force to compress the board. When the board decompresses, it exerts a force up on the gymnast, giving her momentum. Both forces are equal in strength, but they are in opposite directions. In conclusion, every element of the sport of gymnastics is related in some way to Newton's laws. Whether you are doing a front flip on the floor exercise or running full speed towards the vault, there are forces acting on you at all times.